fact is, the law revives it.
Yep.
The law gives strength to it. You know, anytime someone, when you preach law or preach standards, you're actually taking born again people that are now spirit and pulling them back down out of the spirit into the flesh. Well, in the flesh, you will always do the opposite of what you're told. It's flesh's nature. Flesh's nature will always do the opposite of what it's told.
I feel like I heard a couple different pastors say, you know, I'm telling you right now not to think about a purple dinosaur. How many people just, right? If I tell you not to do something, you're automatically going to do it. If I put a sign on the door and say, don't look, you're going to go look, right? That's it. That's the flesh.
That's exactly it. It's exactly it. It's even so much so, I mean, go ahead. Jesus knew when when Jesus walked the earth, he's dealing with people that are under the old covenant. They're not like we are. Jesus is preaching to people that are under the law. He's dealing with people that aren't born again yet. People that Jesus is dealing with and talking to are not the same critter that we are. We're born again. We're now spirit. We're alive spiritually now. Until you got born again, you're dead spiritually, and you're only flesh. You're only flesh. So Jesus, knowing how flesh works, right? Knowing that flesh does the opposite of what is told, right? Now Jesus healed folks, right? What we say? Don't go tell. Right? What's the first thing they did?
They go tell.
He understood how it works, see? The flesh will always do the opposite of what it's told. So, well-intentions, good intentions, and well-meaning people try to get you to clean your act up by telling you, don't do this, and don't do that, and don't do this, right? Exactly. Don't think about purple dinosaurs. And everybody's thinking, it's just how it works. And that won't bring about change inside of us. It won't. It can't, yeah.
It got to the point when I first started going to church, and I was reading the Bible and reading the 10 Commandments, and then there were 613 other laws, and I said, which ones am I supposed to live by, and which ones is it okay to ignore?
Yeah.
And every time I did something wrong, my pastor said, you weren't supposed to do that. I was like, oh, geez, like I screwed up again. It got to the point that it was so much work, I spent so much time feeling awful about myself, and feeling like I was failing all the time, that I just left. So forget that, I was happier a dope fiend. It just wasn't for me, guys. I know it's funny, but it's serious. I was happier in the streets, not knowing where I was going to sleep or eat, than to constantly feel like I was failing. And all I wanted to do was do good and be right with God. And I just could not get there. The invitation wasn't there for me. So where does it stop? And where does it start? At what point do those folks say, you're okay now? Now you can have Jesus. Now you can go to heaven. Now you can live a life redeemed. Now you can be a son. When? Which laws do I have to believe in and which ones don't? I have to believe in. That's not Jesus, man. That's not Jesus. That's not it.
Now tell me, you was sitting right up there the first night you was here. What did you hear that was, you told me what the first night, what did you hear the first night that was different?
To be loved and to just love others, you know what I mean? Is that what I told you? There's a few things that stuck out in my mind about coming here, from that first time. Was that it's not about you behaving your way to heaven. Heaven isn't the ultimate goal. Like, yes, we get that. That's awesome. But there's more to it than that. Allowing Him to live inside of us and to be a son, to be considered righteous. I think what you said was we're at the same level with Abraham and with the rest of the saints. He loves us just the same. We're considered righteous and blameless just like the rest of them. That concept blew my mind. Because it almost sounds like heresy. It almost sounds like, you're not supposed to say that kind of stuff. You're not on the same level with Abraham. Abraham, the father of all nations. What? Yeah. It's no different. There's no levels to this thing.
That's right. That's right.
We're all the same.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, this mic, blessed by Dan Muller, has done wonders, because I've never felt so comfortable talking to a group of people. The one thing that he said that has changed my life dramatically was, you know, when you squeeze a lemon, you get lemon juice. When you squeeze an orange, you get orange juice. So when you squeeze a Christian, you should see Jesus come out. And I shared that testimony after he left, that Jesus wasn't coming out of me when I was getting squeezed. The flesh was. I was angry with my own family, people I love, my own friends. You know, when I got put in a corner, watch out. And I can honestly say I have been transformed since then. I do not react.
Thank you, Jesus. Yes.
I don't necessarily love everybody right away, but I love them in my heart and I pray for them. I want to see them do better. I still do have issues. I still am bitter with some folks, but I'm trying to let that go and be loved and love them. I'm just being honest, man.
Not your actions, bro, it's your heart.
There you go. My heart is in the right place, and it's all for Jesus. That's all I want. Just more of Him. That's it. Jesus plus nothing.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Booyah.
I'm trusting that.
All right. Everybody good?
Yeah.
I don't guess I have to add anything to that. Other than I'll say this, and this is over my head, so I'm just going to spit it out there and leave it there and we'll go, all right? But testimony, and we don't do a lot of that here because people mess it up. But there's actually a spirit of prophecy that goes along that's connected to testimony. When you hear testimony, it's like prophecy. That faith is released in that. When faith is released, grace comes to perform the same results.
That's right.
Not because you worked at it, because you heard something. Faith comes by hearing. Right? You can hear something tonight, whether it's you or somebody in your family or somebody you know or whatever else. It doesn't matter. What you heard tonight can release faith. It's actually prophecy. And faith will release grace and access the same results in your situation. It's powerful. It's powerful. Because what you hear someone else come through, you think, man, that's possible for me. Possible for me. All right? Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
You guys want to sing or they gonna do? No? All right. Hey, you know, y'all. Hey, I will say this. I'll say this. Last week, you know, we just believed for the Harners, you know. I talked to him yesterday. He said she's went from. I didn't say all this because they're sick right here, but you know, she was supposed to die like 2 weeks ago. Doctors said, you're done. And so they said, no, we're not going with what you say. So yesterday she went from 6 pain pills down to 2. She's sleeping all night, and she went and ate a Big Mac and fries and two breakfast burritos, and yeah, if that don't kill you, cancer can. All right, I love y'all.
Thank you.